Hey guys, and welcome back to Shovel Knight Specter of Torment. Always a pleasure to go through the Clockwork Tower. It was one of my favourite stages in Shovel of Hope, and, what was it, Plague of Shadows? Yeah, Plague of Shadows, that's the one.
Yeah, that other fucking campaign that we spent time on, but we obviously don't remember anything about. That's just my life in a nutshell, I suppose.
Yeah, so, what were your memories of this stage here, mate? Did it give you any trouble in Spectre's version of events?
I'd have to say not. Like, in the original version of this stage, this one gave me more trouble, because the Clockwork stages, no matter what game you're playing, always seem to be the most huge pain-in-the-ass things ever, but here I don't remember it being too bad. There was a section I remember running through, like, multiple times, because I kept fucking up and falling in pits. I believe I kept fucking up in the auto-scrolling section, which is another common cause of death for me in this campaign, but beyond that, I still found it to be a lot better. Like I said, since everything's so drastically redesigned, I have a chance to kind of enjoy stages that I didn't really enjoy the first time, and Tinker Knight's stage actually does fulfill that quota for me. I found it much more enjoyable than the original version of it.
You'll notice, like, from here on out, especially, well, it happened when I first got the Judgment Rush thing, but from here on especially, I will be using it to cut corners on levels, so to speak, so we might be going through them faster and faster as the playthrough goes on.
Well, I mean, that's smart. I mean, you've found better use for it than I did. I always had that problem whenever there's, like, sub-weapons in video games. If I don't have an easy way to access them on the fly, what I'll typically do is I will pick the one sub-weapon and I'll kind of stick with it. This happened, like, for example, I'll use a different series that I'm familiar with. Oh, I don't know, Kingdom Hearts off the top of my head. You're supposed to laugh. In that game, in that series, usually I tend to rely on, like, the Cure magic on standby with, like, a quick command, but then we go over to Birth by Sleep, and because I had so easy access to the commands, I was doing more and more magic and special weapons and things like that. So any game where I kind of have to actively select, I'm legit just gonna forget.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna pick the one thing, and then I'll struggle because I'm not using the right ability or sub-weapon for a particular challenge, you know what I mean?
I get you. There's a term for that. I've honestly forgotten what it's called, and I forget every single time I try to bring it up in a playthrough. But it's basically using, you know, something that works as opposed to trying out different options. I'm guilty of this. I really should experiment and show off the game as much as possible, but I've also got to go through retakes and whatnot, and that gets annoying after a while, so you'll forgive me if I take the easy way out sometimes.
My terminology may be wrong, but I believe it's something akin to cognitive bias in that regard, because we like to think we're creatures who kind of can process everything. The human brain is often compared to a computer, but the problem is that our computer is mostly spent on shit trying to prevent us from dying. It's like, and let me get back to another thing here. You know that barrel in Sonic 3 that everybody has trouble with in that casino area?
Uh-huh.
The thing is, with that one, cognitive bias, if I'm using the term correctly, is so prevalent there that the fact that it does not give you immediate feedback for what you're trying to do for it, it makes sense that nobody is able to figure it out. And our brains are kind of geared to go, okay, that didn't work, what's the next strategy? It's focusing on the negative in that regard. So I don't personally have a beef with anybody who has trouble with that barrel, because our brains are literally wired that way. I can't fault them for that. It's not their fault.
Oh, I didn't realise we were going to get deep and philosophical and also psychological in this part, mate. God, there's a fucking auto-scroller already? I expected upwards, but not sideways.
Yeah, I don't usually have a problem with the auto-scrolling, you know, in this game, or any of the campaigns, really, but again, it's because I'm not using the butt-ugly armor that it's very easy for me to fall into a pit, die, and kind of have to do it all over again. I think I'd have to say the most prevalent time that happened was in Propeller Knight stage. This would be okay, well, if we're not counting the Polar Knight boss fight, this would be a close second, the fact that, you know, I kept getting in trouble with pits and kind of having to redo sections over again, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I wonder what flavor those are, because every time I look at these, like, I keep thinking of, like, you know, with, like, barbershops, they got, like, the red and white, spinny pillars.
Also.
I don't know why the fuck they're there or what they're for, but they always make me think of peppermints. When I look at these, I'm thinking they're, like, some kind of blue-orange sherbet flavor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I sort of get what you mean. You think of barber poles, I think of, like, rock, which is, well, it's a stick of candy, essentially, in the UK.
Yeah, UK has some really interesting candy. FTA actually sent me some British chocolate. What? No, it was good. And I'm like, this.
I'm just saying, first of all, that's the real Hell Dragon's tail. Yes, I'm still going with this gimmick. Second of all, you brought that up at least 3 or 4 times now. How long ago was it that Gareth sent you that chocolate?
A while ago, but look, people who send me free chocolate, I'm gonna remember them forevermore. I'm very appreciative, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way to live life, I think. Appreciate the people who feed you guys, especially your parents.
I wonder what British jelly beans taste like. I'm gonna have to see if I can get some of that, actually.
Oh, it's actually just tea-flavoured. You know, we're very... What's the word I'm looking for here? Conventional, predictable like that.
Oh, I thought the word you were looking for was full of shit, because I'm pretty sure they have other flavors for jelly beans over there.
Well, that's 3 words, I think you'll find.
I don't know if they got, like, Jelly Bellies. I don't know. I'm just just give me all of the candy you have, guys, basically, and I will try it all.
Have you eaten yet today? You seem very stomach-focused in this part.
I've eaten today. I had this Rice Krispie shit with, like, protein powder. I actually bought some protein powder because I ran out of that. I got a Mountain Dew, and I got soda for later, for a change. I've actually been trying to back off on it a little bit. Did you just tisk at me? Like, tisk.
No, I'm tisking at myself, okay? Because I keep falling into spike bits and whatnot, and while I do have the ability to survive thanks to the fancy and not but ugly at all armor I'm wearing, and I also have the, you know, the Will Skull to get me back on a level, it's still annoying to see. Anyway, here's the auto-scroller you no doubt were on about.
Yeah, I always tend to have problems with these, but, again, not too bad. It's usually just the recoil. It's my fault. Like, I'm not gonna blame the game for that, in that kind of sense. It is my fault when I fuck up on these, but it can be annoying. I've done my best to kind of get better at controlling my salt powers, but as an X-Men who recently got this ability, it's still very difficult, but the School of Gifted Learning, you know, Xavier runs, they've been helping me a ton with that, and I really appreciate it.
Charles Xavier's School for Extremely Salty Children.
No, legit, I want to see, like, an X-Men mutant that he becomes a salt elemental, and he's just the maddest motherfucker all the time. It would be hilarious.
Oh, call him Sodium. Boom. Marvel, send me a paycheck. We'll talk.
Sodior, the salt elemental.
Wow, that level was short as fuck, mate. But then again, how appropriate for the shortest member of the soon-to-be Order of No Quarter.
Well, you were judgment rushing through some of that, which is, again, better than what I was doing.
How very judgmental of you to rush to such a conclusion.
I'm glad you got in that joke, otherwise I'd be concerned. I've got to make a girlfriend, and you guys aren't gonna stop me.
I guess that's why he joined the Order of No Quarter, to fully build his robot waifu.
I don't know, she's got lasers.
Wait a minute, is that what the tank is? Jesus. Well, whatever your fetish is, Mr. Tinker Knight, and oh look, he's using the gear.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised, because again, this is a two-phase fight. They actually gave Tinker Knight some really neat moves. They let him use the mobile gear, and it can extend up here, so he has more range on his wrench attacks. I was actually legitimately surprised. It's not a bad phase.
It kind of also, I suppose in a meta sense, explains why he's so weak in the first phase of Shovel and Plague Knight's fights, because he doesn't have access to the mobile gear.
Oh, that's true. That's actually a really good point.
Here we go, Phase 2, and it's a side-scroller, which I was pretty interested to see, and of course I died a number of times before I beat him. He was quite challenging the first time, actually, but since I came to love the Judgment Rush, he became a piece of piss. Haha.
I also died a few times on this. I wasn't using Judgment Rush as well, but if you can get over to, like, the left side where he's most likely going to be, it's very easy to lock him into recurring, you know, dash attacks, and you can do a good amount of damage, but you mainly have to watch out for, again, the pits, and the missiles that kind of fire out at the top. Once you get that down, he's actually not that bad. It's really just that initial learning curve with dealing with this boss.
Oh, yeah. I think he's dead. We may have to.
Yeah. I think you killed him, my friend. I guess we're gonna have another Specter Knight in a minute.
Oh boy, might have to conjure up a new Tinker Knight. Oh well, such is the life of a Spectre. What? No flashback? I'm in Sword.
Man, I got shit to do. I can't be spending time waiting around. Let's have a flashback.
All right, what have you got for us this time, Red?
I found a gun! A gun, huh?
Who needs courage or curios when you have a gun?
I should have donated to that Kickstarter enough to make a legitimate gun night and see if that would have passed muster. I don't think it would have.
Yeah, you can't use your scythe here. Why? Just cause. It's cursed.
Well, it's a cursed basement. You know, it's very dirty. I'm not really surprised.
Did you use the barrier lantern much?
I used this a few times. I did find it useful to block certain projectiles on certain bosses, as well as, you know, take care of certain obstacles. The main drawback with it is that once it charges up a shield, you have to fire it afterwards, so you can't really use your scythe attack. So I wouldn't really... I had difficulty kind of comboing it, you know what I mean? But beyond that, it's not a bad relic. I think it's got some good uses.
A solid 7 out of 10, as it were.
Yeah, it's got the IGN Award of Approval.
Yes, we know. We'll treat it wisely, immediately throws it off the Tower of Fate.
Yeah, he just throws like a bunch of curios off the side, and then adventurers find them all piled up, just all this bunch of useless crap that he finds.
I hope that's how King Knight's stage, or campaign starts. He's just fully tooled from the get-go.
I think what they'll probably do with King Knight is that he's pretty much on a quest to get back his shit, and I guess he fights everybody to try and get his shit back, but it just backfires in comedic ways. I think that's how they'll do it.
I think that actually takes place before Specter of Torment, don't quote me on that, but there's like a few context clues which like allude to that. I'll talk about that when we go through Pridemore Keep again.
Okay.
Huh, who's this dashing fellow up there?
I thought you were going to talk to the lady, and I'm like, no, do not talk to that My Little Pony person down there.
Oh jeez, the kiss of death!
Oh no! Getting erotic!
OTP?
Now, fun fact, I don't know if you've activated this, actually. Usually it does that. Sometimes the Kiss of Death will legit kill you. And
Really?
you'll respawn. Yes, I have had that happen to me. It can legit kill you, but it is rare.
Wow.
I'm surprised you didn't... Well, okay, I'm not surprised. It is rare, like I said. I still don't know if this pet has anything to do with the game. It's there. So if it's got some secret, let me know.
But if you hold down, you can pet him.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's new.
Adorable. You saw nothing, Golden Knight.
I'm edgy as fuck. Shut the fuck up, Reese.
Ugh, puppet, really? Do you outrank me now? Oh.
No, he just thinks he's top shit. He ain't.
Alright, I guess we're gonna go back to Pridemore Keep and see how the gaudy guardian of the castle is doing. See you then.